Let's start in a toes pose. It's something like brings a little bit more heat to the practice and allows us to go right into sensation and merge with it. So tucking both toes underneath, sitting the heels back down, um, sitting down onto the heels rather, and then finding an upright spine. If this creates just too much intensity and panic, you can always put a blanket or a block underneath your hamstrings to give yourself a little more lift, or simply just lean forward. But the reason we go right into this is because it invokes stress. It invokes panic, possibly. But we have this space between stimulus and response. And that space is where we make a choice that changes the outcome of our experience. So, though this may be a spark that could catch a wildfire through the body, instead we sit with it, we breathe with it. And we can begin to release our resistance, or resistance is synonymous with suffering. Final 3 breaths here, staying in. In through the nose, filling up the navel, into the hips even. And then from the top of the torso down, exhale. Much like a water cooler empties from the top space down. And then shift forward, coming off of those toes into tabletop position. Bard, you're covering my mat. There we go. Good boy. So I'm on the guru pad, so you'll hear some cues. Left hand to gold 3, right hand to gold 4, knees to the purple circles, toes tucked, green 1, green 2. Tabletop position, shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. And now we're just going to begin to sway in this, pressing back again, feeling a little bit of that toes pose come back, and then shifting forward, almost into that up dog position, pushing back and forward. So we're getting into the hips and the shoulders here. And we're rounding through our shoulder blades. So it's protraction of the shoulder blades, just means that you've got this rounding in your upper back, which is often felt prominent in cat pose. Very helpful in plank for most of us to engage our serratus. It's like 5 fingers that wrap around from our back over our ribs, help us breathe, help stabilize the shoulder. All right, now we're going to begin to walk the hands forward, left hand to gold 1, right hand to gold 2. So you're about 5.5 inches forward of what you just were. And then we're going to incorporate some spinal flexion and extension. So dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. And then as we round through our spine, exhaling, sit your hips back and down, almost into a tucked toes child pose. Glide forward by dropping the elbows, staying low like a swan over water. And then when you're ready, untuck the toes, pull your heart forward into low cobra. Round through the spine again, toes come back and tuck. Sit the hips back. Look forward, glide forward, pull yourself up into cobra. Toes untuck, pinky seal. Look up. Round through the spine, tuck the toes. Sit the hips back. Glide forward, elbows support this maneuver. Looking up. Coordinating breath with movement here. And you don't need to tuck the toes if you don't want to. You can press the tops of your feet down if that just takes one element of difficulty out of it. Or this is more, again, about the breath. Last one here. Really round through the spine. Push that tailbone down and away. Sit the hips back. Exhale. Sliding forward. Inhale up. This time, knees wide, toes together. True child's pose. Laying the forehead down. We'll just begin true dedicated breath work from this position. So with awareness of the constriction, right? The thighs pressing into the navel, maybe limiting the expansion of a belly breath. We're still going to breathe down into the lower abdomen, the base of the torso. So we're using the 3 rules of breath: nasal breathing, in through the nose, out through the nose. Second rule, navel breathing, diaphragmatic, into the belly, out from the belly. And then the third rule, slow and smooth, for less is more. Elongate your breath. If we can take less breath in per minute and we can take less breath per day, we will enhance the longevity of our lives. And even neuroscience is on that side, as Dr. Andrew Huberman just released. The number one thing you can do to optimize your hormones would be to breathe through your nose, because you tend to breathe slower, longer, smoother through the nose. A lot of other things there as well. Check out my breathwork videos for more on that. Shifting forward here, coming back up into tabletop position. That's again, knees to the purple circles, left hand goal 3, right hand goal 4. And we're going to move a little bit more here. We're going to pick up the knees, press the chest back, good old down dog. Inhale, shift forward, lower halfway down. Lower the hips, untuck the toes, come up into a high cobra or up dog. I was doing up dog there, just so you know. That means the thighs and the hips and the knees come off the ground. Press back into down dog, smooth out with an exhale. Full inhale here. Exhale, release, press back a little higher, knees bend just a touch. Inhale, bring the right knee towards your right wrist and your right ankle in front of your left hip. You want to make sure your right knee is outside of your right hip. That's ideal. Now we're going to walk the left toes back, then lower the left knee down. Slide the hands back by your hips to lift your body upright. This reminds me of Ariel, little mermaid on the rock. I don't know why. Always had a crush on her. Lifting the heart here. And then we're going to, the reason we lift up is to secure the base, right? Secure the hips. So we want to make sure that we are taking care of our hips before we fold into this. And so we lower elbows down. And then we're going to stay up on elbows and allow this not to be a lazy pose by engaging the right hip, pushing the right hip back and down. The head can go heavy as well, just to release any extra tension built in the pose. And now here's a little variation I'm a big fan of. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Take the back side of your left forearm and slide it parallel to your right, the angle of your right shin. Anchor the left elbow almost in line with the right ankle, and find whatever amount of space you need. So my arm is directly between the gold 1, gold 3 angle here. So I'm about 8 inches off my right shin. Now I'm twisting towards the right. So go ahead and pull your navel towards the right side. Right hand can rest on the hip or the thigh bone. And then still find that space. Encourage your right femoral head back behind you. Full breath. If you have a belt or a strap nearby, this might be handy. Walk your hands back underneath. Left hand lands around gold 3. So just in front of your right ankle. Right hand comes back behind to connect to the top of the left foot. Now, if you have a belt or any type of prop that allow you to loop this, it may be easier, more accessible. But even flexing your left knee is going to create this stretch. As long as you press your torso up and away, you'll begin to feel it in your left hip flexor. So you're still lifting your torso, creating length on the left abdominal region. And that slight twist also encourages the opening here. One more breath to release. Exhale. Exhale, there floats the foot. So push your toes back into the earth, not your toenails, the toes. Lift up your left knee. Push your right knee back. Right toes land by the left toes. Setting for down dog. Left toes gold 1, green 1, right toes green 2. Both hands on gold 3, gold 4. Press the chest back. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, press back on the exhale. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, press back. Long exhales. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Let's move slower. Exhale, press back. Okay, left foot lifts. Left knee to left wrist. Just outside the left hip. Left ankle in front of right hip. Walking the right toes back. Hands slide back. Torso lifts up. Again, it's pushing, almost trying to square the hips. Securing all ground expansion, all points of contact. Expand outwards and inwards at the same time. So you're creating more surface area of contact on the ground. More. Yep, that'll work. Okay, now we come forward. Elbows come down. They land around the red-blue intersection at blue 1, blue 2. And then the head goes heavy, resting down in between. We'll take 5 cycles of breath here. Again, work into elongating the exhale. If you can double the length of the exhale to your inhale, you're going to feel a dramatic parasympathetic response. Very relaxing. Blood pressure lowers, heart rate decreases, mind becomes quieter. It's even known to release serotonin and GABA. Which ultimately give you resilience and the ability to embrace life on life's terms. Smooth out one more cycle of breath here. And then slide your hands back underneath, taking the back of your right hand Press the forearm down from elbow to fingertips. Again, find that parallel angle to your left shin. And then plant your left hand on top of your left thigh. Twist the navel towards that left thigh. And use the space created to encourage the stretch on the outer seam of your left leg. Right into the glute. Eckhart Tolle, in his book, A New Earth, very profound book, written years ago, but probably never been more relevant than during last year, in which our world took a radical transformation. He speaks about the three virtues we must reach for. And that, again, was the non-resistance I spoke to in the beginning of class. Taking another breath here. You inhale to meet sensation, exhale to dissolve into it. Meaning you dissolve resistance, you radically embrace. Now plant the left hand back down, right hand back down. We'll put the right hand on gold 4. Begin to bend the back right knee. Again, when you lift your torso, you'll already begin to work some tensional lines and release them. Left hand comes back, maybe to grab the top of the back foot. This would also be a good place to get you could use a cord even. You could use a charger cord. That might feel a little strangly though. And now again, pressing down through the right hand to lift the torso a touch higher. Let's smooth through 2 more breaths. Another virtue is non-judgment. Find it's very relevant in yoga. Non-judgment. We often are sitting here with the 3 C's. Competitively, full of comparison, and in our own self-criticism, which none of that helps. Release that back foot, plant the left hand back down, gold 3. Let's lift the right knee, step the left foot back. Let's plant the feet on gold 1, or green 1, green 2. For down dog, press the chest up and back. So you literally get this feeling of lifting your chest towards the sky, which helps you encourage your hips high. And then you can rest back, chest towards thighs. So down dog is considered a rest pose, and that honestly takes some time to find the refinements and begin to rest into the stones within your bones, the structure of your musculoskeletal system. Shift forward again. We'll lower halfway down for chaturanga, up dog. And then lower the knees wide, set back, child's pose. Returning to the breath, Durgari Chak. That's an extended exhale. Sometimes called Durgari Chaka. Long, smooth exhalations, doubling the length of your inhale. Buteyko worked early in his career with people suffering from bronchitis and tuberculosis, and began to realize that it was all about the exhalation. That they were always trying to, initially the nurses and doctors were trying to encourage more breath in. They thought that was the problem, but in fact it was that these patients weren't getting enough of the stale air out. If you understand the Bohr effect, it makes sense that CO2 is required for the exchange of oxygen. but it emphasized the nature of the out breath, full of release, that we must let things go. And that brings us to our third virtue, non-attachment, as we take this mindful moment with our breath. Our breath is truly indicative of these teachings. That just as our breath comes and goes, so does experience itself, so does the material within our world. The clothes we wore as a kid, the body we had, has changed so many times. And if I recall correctly, Dr. Wayne Dyer pointed out that every 7 years, science has shown that every cell in your body will be replaced, the brain taking the longest. So your body has renewed time and time again, come and gone, yet still we try to grasp and hold on until we begin to identify with something less tangible, something beyond which we can hold in our hands or see with our eyes. But it is something we know in our hearts, felt in our souls. Begin to move from a new depth as you move gracefully back in. We'll go into some standing positions here. Lift the hips, press the chest back. Inhale, reach the right foot back behind. Draw the right knee to the nose and round in, hug it in. Enjoy and embrace every movement, for they are a gift. Pull it forward, round it in, exhaling as you do. Inhale to press back. Last one. Exhale. Step the right foot forward to the right thumb. Land around blue 2. Inhale. Come right up into crescent. And then exhale. Draw the arms back. Reach the heart forward. Create an angle to your pose. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale. Arms back. Keep the committed bend in your right knee. This is all from the torso. Back bend. To exhale, heart forward. Inhale. And on this one, drop the right arm, reach the left arm forward, and take a vertical twist. Plant the right hand in your sacrum and create another opening for somewhat of a peaceful warrior. Cartwheel the hands back down to frame the front foot. Big transition here. Straighten the right leg. Keep the left leg long and straight. Standing splits. Heart is forward for now. On your exhales, begin to fold over your right leg. No rush. Inhale brings you up and long. Exhale folds you in. Inhale long. Exhale in. Left foot lowers by the right foot. Head goes heavy on the out breath. Inhale to half lift, hands to shins, flat back. And then exhale, round again. Draw the navel up and in. And release. Draw the navel up and in, exhale. And release. Watch it fill up naturally. Sit back into a chair, arms come up. Pushing your butt back behind you, biceps by the ears. Exhale, drop the arms back, pick up onto the toes. Heels back, arms up. Exhale, pick the toes up, send the arms back, tabletop your torso. Birds of prey, drop the heels back, arms up, drinking bird. Exhale, arms back, heart forward. Again, heels down, arms up. Exhale, pick up the heels. Last one. And stand all the way up. Interlace the hands behind the back of your head. Press your head into your hands. Draw the chin in. Create more space as you lengthen your backside neck. The nape of your neck specifically being a center point of focus. Watch the heartbeat and fill up space with each breath all around your heart. Just bathe your heart in breath. Now here, slide the left wrist behind the right ear. Pull on the left arm, but make sure both elbows are moving away from each other. So kind of play with this till you find the stretch in the left armpit. And then tip to the right, push your left elbow towards the sky. Switch back to the other side. Right wrist becomes behind the left ear. So you're somewhat lopsided towards the left side. And much like the balance, the triple beam balance would, or that old school like symbol for justice with balance, those things. If you know what they are, let me know. Tips to the left, all right? Tip to the left and keep pulling the elbows apart. As we open up the armpits, we actually tap into a bunch of lymphatic connections, and within that is lymphocytes, which are responsible for our immunity. Inhale back here to neutral, arms up. So armpits have a ton of connectivity in them. It's important to open them up. And then exhale, fold forward, down and in. Little hinge in the hips, deep bend in the knees. Plant the left hand down, right hand down. Gold 1, gold 2. Step the left toe back to green 1, right toe back to green 2. Set it for high plank here. High plank waiting, just building heat. Pulling the wrist towards the toes, toes towards the wrist. We're encouraging that core to activate. This helps stabilize many of the poses we do. Exhale, lower the knees to the purple circle. Slide the left hand back to gold 3, right hand back gold 4. Tabletop position. Space through the fingers. Inhale, press up into down dog. Exhale, settle into your down dog. Inhale the left foot back to the rear of the room. Press the toes down, square the hips. Push through both hands, especially the right side. Draw the left knee to the nose, shift forward, round it in. Inhale, fire back. Exhale, sweep it in. Inhale, carousel back. Inhale, draw it in. Let's go parasail back. Whew, this time, step forward to blue 1, right by your left thumb. Wiggle it up there if you need. I did. Inhale, arms up, biceps by the ears, torso rises to the sky. Committed bend in the left knee, micro bend in the back right knee. Power point in the middle toes of your back right foot. Tripod in the front left foot. Ground expansion no matter what. Exhale, hands back, heart forward. Inhale, back up, minor back bend. Exhale, arch or lean forward, hands back. Inhale, create this slight arch in your back. Exhale, arms forward. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, last one. Inhale. Going into the vertical twist here. Dropping the left arm back, right arm forward. Hugging the left shoulder blade in, extending through the right. Still committed in the bend. Use the inhale to lengthen the spine. The spine tends to decompress and twist. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Ever so slightly deeper. Bend the left elbow, plant it on the left or on the back of your sacrum, and then create a slight arch as you umbrella your right arm overhead. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot. Straighten your left leg and keep your right leg lifted behind you, standing splits. Kind of like a windmill. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Engage your right glute to lift your foot a bit higher. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Release the right foot to blue 2. Take a breath in, half lift. Exhale, round in. Well done. Bend into the knees, create a little ball. Grab your arms around and give yourself a squeeze. In fact, let's turn the toes out, bring the heels together. I'm going to turn so y'all can see me. Toes out, heels together. Hands come up. Another balance challenge. We open the toes for a reason. Here we are. Find a focal point outside of your body that you can gaze on. And then with your internal gaze, that internal proprioception or interoception in psychology, gaze into your heels and your hips and squeeze those closer together into the center line. Beautifully done. Roll on back to a seated position. I'm just going to release the low back. It's so important. Roll into a little ball here. If happy baby's accessible to you, go ahead for it. If you can't grab the feet without your back coming up, then grab the tops of the shins. Straighten one leg, then the other perhaps, or just roll it around like a rugrat. Like Tommy and Chucky. Man, what a throwback. All right, knees back in. Extend the left leg long. Take your left hand to the top of the right knee. Move your hips to the right. Pull just a scotch. And then allow your right knee to drift over to the left side. Gaze in the opposite direction. Extend your right arm away as an anchor. Roll back over. Neutralize your hips by pressing your feet down and lifting your hips up in bridge pose. And exhale, lower down. Extend the right leg long. Shift your hips to the left. Carry the right hand to the left knee. And then allow that knee to drift over to the right side. Left arm and shoulder. Reach out for anchorage. Not the city in Alaska. I don't know what direction you're. Northwest. Maybe you're reaching northwest. I don't know. Okay, full breath here. Releasing the low back, letting the breath move and smooth out tension. And then release back to a neutral position. Legs lay long, arms lay long. Here we go for the Vishamavritti breath. This is the perfect ratio in which we will interrupt the pattern of breathing with breath holds. We'll start by just doing basically triangle breathing. So using the inhale, then a breath hold, then an exhale. And then we'll get into the true practice where we actually hold the breath out as well. We'll start simple, inhaling for 3, holding for 12, releasing for 6, And then again, inhaling for 3. I'll count a little bit slower on the inhale so you can get a full breath there. And then as your practice progresses, you'll need less breath in order to complete this. It'll become more equalized. So all the breath in, fully in, stretch the lungs, perpetual inhale or 3 sips. I'll demonstrate the 3 sips. Just sucking more air into the belly, holding it. Exhale, slow release through the nose ideally. I'm talking, so it's gonna come out my mouth. One more time, stretch the lungs. Try the perpetual inhale where you just keep breathing in. Trying to fill more space. And slow exhale through the nose. One normal breath to reset, release tension in the throat. All the way out. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 3, 2, 1. Hold. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reset breath. Just a good inhale. Outhale, exhale. Just another one of those. Quick in, quick out. Feel free to use a reset breath at any time and then just join us in our progression. Breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Keep trusting the body, allowing yourself and the body knows best, to do what it does best. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6. Trust the body. 3, 2, 1. Hold or reset breath. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do a reset breath. Release tension with this breath. Sighing helps do that. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 16. 10. Your body can do this. Don't let the mind limit the body. Exhale. 8, 4. Hold out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Big in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 16. I vaped. I used to smoke. I can do this twice the length. 2-minute breath holds, things like that. I've practiced and I broke through limiting beliefs. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reset breath. Last one. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for a big belly breath. Exhale, side out. Inhale fully in. We're going to hold for 30 seconds or beyond, whatever you're capable of, beginning 5 seconds ago. Count down from 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Technically, that's 30, 3, 2, and long, smooth release if you got it. All right, normalize your breathing. Gather your why in this moment. Why did I come here today? Why did I practice today? What led you to show up? There's 2 questions of awakening. In this age of awakening, we must know first, who am I? And once that's understood, once that's felt and truly known, we can ask, why am I? Why am I here? What gifts have I been given that are intended to be given back? You can learn a lot about your mind by asking these questions. With this form of self-inquiry, you can reveal a more powerful being. The first transformation of a meditative practice, of entering flow, of essentially having an experience that is that of Buddha nature, is that of what we or many call God, which is merely just a word, but is more indicative of an experience. If I use the word God, I don't refer to some man sitting on a throne. I refer to the experience of feeling most alive, most in tune with myself and the world around me. And so the first transformation is stillness, which is related to non-resistance. No more struggle. Just relaxing back in this moment into the earth that supports you. In the blanket of gravity which lays over you. The second transformation is that of inner silence or non judgment. You're no longer perceiving threats. And that's all a to do list really is. The urge to do something is perceiving the threat of some future pain that may occur if we don't get that thing done. The idea that the doer will never be done. So true. So here we don't judge. We rest in silence, inner silence. And number 3, the third transformation, spaciousness. The space that surrounds you, the space that is within you. Due to the subatomic structure of an atom, we are 99.999% space. We are more like a hologram than a solid object, a flashing of light. And just as I spoke to how the body every 7 years is renewed, every cell is replaced, the brain taking the longest, we can, in this third transformation of spaciousness, we can sense non-attachment as we freely exchange electrons with the world around us. Count your breaths from 1 to 5 using 1 for the inhale and the exhale, and descend up to 5. Notice the body shifts and shapes through space as you invigorate your breath to bring your body life. Begin to wiggle toes and fingers. Extend your arms overhead, seal your legs together, create a nice long pencil stretch. And then exhale, curl up a little ball and roll to one side or the other. Taking your time to come up to a seated position. I think we ran a bit over my 30 estimate, but it's okay. This is what was needed. And I thank you for your presence and your practice. Unbelievably grateful to have shared this with you. Namaste.